Hello, welcome to Yoga with Rach. I'm Rach, thank you very much for joining me. Today's practice is Yoga for Surviving Mercury retrograde. So as this goes out, Mercury is still retrograde. It goes direct on the 31st of July. Mercury retrogrades minimum of 3, sometimes 4 times a year, and it's for around 3 weeks. If it's something completely new to you, don't worry, I will put some links either in the description or the comments below for some articles that might interest you, and my blog, which will go out tomorrow, is also going to go a little bit more into what Mercury retrograde is. So during this current Mercury retrograde, we want to make sure that we're honouring, slowing down and listening to our emotions. Every Mercury retrograde has different lessons to learn, but this one in particular is about checking in with our emotions and knowing that if we feel that we can't communicate, try to journal them down, so then when Mercury goes direct, things will be a little bit clearer when you're trying to communicate either with yourself or with your loved ones, with your work colleagues, because it's a time where things can get a little bit misunderstood. So as we're trying to explain things, it might not come across as the way that we actually intend it to be. So just be mindful that during Mercury retrograde, it's basically telling you now is the time to slow down. Mercury's the quickest, the fastest orbiting planet. It goes around the sun, orbits the sun in 88 days. So when we do have these retrogrades, it's all about slowing down. So we need to have these reminders sometimes, especially in Ayurveda, if you're a very Vata person, and then the thought of slowing down just doesn't feel natural to you. But we all need those times of get up and go, and also slowing and being restorative. However, this practice is not going to be a restorative practice. We're going to be finding our balance. So we're going to be moving slowly through a little flow and seeing how we can find our balance without forcing or pushing. So if you wobble or fall, it's fine. Just come back into the practice. So start by finding a comfortable seat. If you have got a block or a cushion or a pillow, feel free to grab that if that helps. Legs might be crossed, you might have the knees bent. We're going to start with our Shakti mudra. That if you've been practicing the Cancer season sequence, you may have practiced this one already, so you might go straight into it, or I will guide you through now. So we're going to bring the little fingers together to touch and the ring fingertips together to touch. So don't touch the other fingers, so it's just literally little fingers and the ring fingers touch. The thumbs will be tucked into the palms of the hands, and you're going to wrap the middle and the index fingers around the thumbs, but they don't touch the other parts of the hand. So right hand and left hand are only touching by the index fingers and the ring fingers touching. Try to get the index and ring fingers to point down. This is all about grounding. And see if you can sit the hands roughly in front of the belly button and the hips. Let the arms relax, closing your eyes, and bring your awareness to your breath. So Shakti mudra is all about staying grounded whilst being able to go with the flow. So every time you practice this mudra, this hand gesture, bring that thought to mind that you are grounded whilst being able to go with the flow. You don't get caught up in anything. You stay grounded in what you're focusing on. Slowly releasing your mudra, give the fingers a wiggle. You might be drawing circles with the hands, releasing the wrists, rocking the shoulders. Coming back into the room as you blink the eyes open. If you're sitting on a block or a cushion, just placing it to one side as we come all the way up to standing. So standing at the top of the mats, and take the feet to the legs about hip width apart, and just have a little check in with the whole of your feet. So you're just going to lift the toes and lower and lift the heels. So you're lifting the toes and lower and lifting the heels. Just gently swaying forward and back, just checking in, finding your balance. You might have the eyes open or closed. When you're ready, gently rooting down through the feet. Make sure you've got a bit of space in front of you. So if you haven't got much space, you might practice this around the middle of the mat, so you've got plenty of room in front of you. And start to shift your weight a little bit more into your left leg, rooting down through the left foot. You might keep a slight bend in the knee. As you start to lift your right foot off the mat, moving into tree pose. As we turn the right knee out to the side, sole of your right foot might be resting onto the inside of your left ankle, the inside of the left shin, or you might lift the foot up and place the foot to the inside of your left thigh. If you're wobbling, that's fine. If you're near a wall or you have a chair, you might hold on to that for a little bit of support. Arms might be resting on the legs, the hips, in namaste in front of the heart. If you're raising the arms up above the crown, just listen to what feels right for you. Focus on the breath. Keep pushing down through the left foot. As you release the right foot from the left leg, push the right foot towards the back of the mat. Turn to your right, turn the toes out, heels in. You might need to take the feet a bit wider. Bend into the knees, sit the hips a tailbone back. Open the arms up wide, bend the elbows, find your cactus arms as we move into goddess squat. So standing in your power, know that you're rooted and strong. And what's really lovely with this is that you can keep the hands facing forward, so you're inviting courage in, or if you want to let go of something, turn the hands around so the palms are facing behind you. So setting your intention, see what feels comfortable for you. Again, eyes might be open or closed as you focus on the breath. Start to straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Turn the right toes in, turn the left toes to face the top of the mat. Lifting out of your right foot. So you're going to lift the right leg off the mat in a moment. As you bend a little bit more into the left knee, slowly bring the left hand down to the mat. Keep it underneath the shoulder rather than towards your foot. Reach the right arm up, as you reach the right leg up into Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon. If you're feeling wobbly, look down. You might have a go looking to the side. Slowly bring your right hand down onto the mat. Push your right foot back. Bring the left hand onto the mat as you step the left foot back. Downward facing dog. Inviting some movement in if you wish. You might stay in downward dog or inviting a vinyasa. Ripple forward into plank. Knees high or low. Exhale, lower. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale, transition back up into downward facing dog. From your downward dog, your transition, walking, stepping or hopping, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, lower the arms down. Make sure again you've got enough room at the top of the mat. I'm going to go to the other side just so I can see you. Find that hip width apart. Just checking in with your mountain pose Tadasana. Shifting the weight now into your right leg, right foot. Keep a slight bend in the knee as you bring the left leg up into your tree pose. Turning the knee to the side. So we're opening the hip. Left foot might find your inner right ankle, the shin, or lift above the knee and place the foot into the thigh. Standing up nice and tall, find what placement works for you on this side for the arms. Really reaching down and pushing into that right foot. Release the left foot. See if you can push it back as we turn to the left. Opening the toes, turning the toes out and the heels in. Bend into the knees, sit the hips and tailbone down. Open the arms wide, bend into the elbows for your goddess pose. Standing in your power, either inviting in courage or releasing and letting go as you turn the hands around. See what feels right for you. Eyes might be open or closed, focusing on the breath. So to straighten the arms, straighten the legs. You're going to turn the left toes in. Turn the right toes to face the top of the mat. We're going to try that harder Chandrasana or half moon again. So you're going to lift your left foot and slowly bring the right hand down to the mat. Try to keep the hand underneath your shoulder rather than bringing the hand closer to the foot. Lift the left arm up and lift the left leg up. Looking down to the mat, especially if you're feeling wobbly. Maybe we start to look to the side. Slowly bring the left hand down onto the mat. Push the left foot to the back of the mat. Bring the right hand onto the mat and step the right foot back into your downward facing dog. Focus on the breath. You're welcome to stay in downward dog or optional vinyasa. Ripple forward into plank. Knees high or low. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, releasing, transitioning into downward dog. From your downward dog, walk, step or hop. Standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lift the chin. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Staying around the top of the mat. Just finding your mountain pose. Feet, legs hip width apart. The arms relax down by your hips. Stepping the right foot back, turning straight round to the right, turn the toes out, heels in, bend into the knees and open the arms, bend into the elbows, move into your goddess squat. But from here, bring the arms in front of you, take the right arm under and bringing the hands towards each other or back to back or holding onto the hands, finding Garandasana arms, eagle arms. Inhale, raise the arms up, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, drawing the elbows into the belly or the chest. Twice more. Inhale, lift and look up. Exhale, round and drawing in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rounding. Whilst you're here, unravel the arms, reach the fingertips down, start to straighten the legs, push the heels out, wide forward fold. Stay with your back flat, or you might start to release down towards the mat. Or you can invite some movement in, so you don't have to find your way all the way down so your head rests onto the mat. You can just gently release into your back. Another nice variation is holding onto the elbows, moving into your ragdoll wide forward fold. And releasing the arms, walking to the top of the mat, turn the feet as you go. Stepping left foot back, downward facing dog. Inviting some movement in here if you wish. You're welcome to stay in downward dog or optional vinyasa. Ripple forward into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, releasing, transition back into downward facing dog. Your transition, walk, step or hop, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Find your way to the top of the mat. So again, I'm going to just go to the other side so I stay facing you guys. Feet to hip width apart. Let the arms relax down by the hips. Close your eyes if you wish. Checking in with your mountain pose, Tadasana. Slow step your left foot back, Turning to the left, turn the toes out, heels in, bend the knees, open the arms wide, bend the elbows, moving into your goddess pose. Bring the arms in front of you, this time take the left arm under, drawing the hands towards each other, or back to back, or holding onto the palms for Garudasana, eagle arms. Inhale, lift the chin, raise the arms up. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, draw the elbows into the chest, the belly. Inhale to lift. Exhale, rounding. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rounding. Whilst you're here, unravel, release the arms, push the fingertips towards the mat. Start to straighten the legs, turn the toes in, push the heels out, and find your forward fold. Inviting movement in, or pausing with the breath wherever you land. So you might stay with that flat back, you might move into ragdoll, holding onto the elbows. Focusing on the breath. And when you're ready, just finding your way around to the top of the mat, walking the hands, turn the feet as you go, set the right foot back, downward facing dog. You might pause in the pose, just focusing on the breath, inviting some movement in if you wish. Or optional vinyasa, ripple forward into plank, exhale lower, inhale, upward dog or cobra, exhale release to transition into downward facing dog. Your transition into your forward fold, walk, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale fold, inhale all the way up, standing, raise your arms up. And exhale, lower the arms down. So sometimes during Mercury retrograde, we've just got to be a little bit silly, go with the flow, and release some tension. I know for me, that tends to be in the jaw, the neck, and the shoulders. So we're going to have a little go with octopus arms or figure 8 arms. So the idea with this is that you want to keep the palms of your hands facing upward, as though you're holding something in your hand and you don't want to release it. If you want to have a go, by all means hold on to something that you don't mind dropping, such as a belt rolled up or even a block, and I'll show you that in a moment, but we'll start with the sequence first. So hands are right by your hips, fingertips touching your hips, palms are facing up. So from here, you're going to push your hands back to turn the hands out to the side, so the fingertips point out. Pull the arms forward over your head, so the fingertips touch. Push the hands back and out, bringing the arms down in line with the shoulders. Forward, drop the hands down to bring them back into the hips, back to where we started. Push the hands back and out. Forward, over your head, fingertips touch. Back and out, drop them down in line with the shoulders. Forward, drop them down and into the hips. Back and out, forward over your head, back and down, forward, down and in. So you're finding this circular movement with the arms, let your shoulders relax. If it helps, look at one hand and work one hand first. Making sure you're releasing from the elbow and the shoulder. So you push back and out, forward over your head, back and out, and forward and dropping down. If you want to have a go, make sure that you haven't got anything too close to you that you're going to throw or launch whatever you're holding into. Make sure it's also something that's not going to break, so you might use an eye pillow, belt that's rolled up, a block. You want to make sure that you're not using your thumb, so you're not holding the thumb. So the idea is that it can easily fall out of your hands. Woo. And then you can change sides. And if the movement ripples down through the hips, awesome, so you get the movement through the body. And you might change it up, so you move forward first, or my favourite one is to get one arm going first and then let the other joint in. And then recently we've been doing this one in the studio, so we get the arms going in opposite directions. So the key here is allow yourself to be silly. If you get it wrong, oh well, it doesn't matter. But have a go and see how you get on. A few more moments here, but take your time. And if you turn the hands around, if you're holding something, you drop it, oh well, this happens. Keep the movement slow and invite that movement into the shoulders. So notice if you're actually creating more tension in your shoulders, you're normally locking and holding yourself here. So shrug the shoulders, let go, have a couple more goes, pushing the hands back and out, forward over your head, fingertips touch, back and out, drop them down in line with the shoulders, forward and in. Have 2 more goes. Last one. And releasing, give the shoulders a shrug. Come up towards the top of the mats. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, your transition, walk, step or hop, downward facing dog. And take your time, bring the shoulders back, inviting in some movement, listening to the breath. Stepping the feet together, inhale, right leg lifts. And exhale, bring the knee into the belly, pull the shoulders forward, keep the knee bent as you place the right knee in between the hands. Place the left knee down and stretch the left leg back. Your choice, so you can go straight down and fold over the leg into sleepy pigeon. So honouring that need to release and let go. Or we can have a go with our back bend or moving into mermaid or merman pose. So you're opening your heart and finding your balance. So you're welcome to stay a little bit more restorative. Or start to lift the chin, lift the chest, find your back bend. From there you can turn around towards the left. Try to keep the thigh, the glutes off the mat. Maybe you're bending the left knee to lift the foot. You might reach the left arm behind and around towards the foot but might not touch. Maybe holding the toes or the heel or the top of the foot, arm straight. You might start to bend into the elbow. If you're holding onto the foot, see if you can reach the right arm forward and up. Maybe in time, bringing the left foot into the left elbow crease and the arms and the hands connect. Find your balance. If you're feeling wobbly, perfectly fine. Slowly releasing, bring the hands down. Tuck under the left toes, lift the knee, push into the mat, lift the right knee into the belly. Pull the shoulders back, push the tailbone high, extend the right leg back and up, down dog splits. As you exhale, right leg lowers all the way down next to the left, downward facing dog. Stepping the feet together, inhale, left leg lifts. Bringing the knee into the belly, pull the shoulders forward, exhale. Place the left knee down, in between the hands, right knee lowers, stretch the right leg back. And again, your choice, you can work a different variation on either side. So maybe this side you go with your sleepy pigeon, or maybe this side it feels more accessible, moving into your back bend. From there you might turn slowly to the right, bending the right knee to lift the foot. You might reach the arm back but might not grab the foot. Maybe you can just about find the foot. Or invite some movement into the elbow. If you're holding the foot, have a go, start to find your balance. Lift the left arm up. In time, you might find the elbow crease. And perhaps we reach up and over and the hands connect. Whenever you're ready, so you don't have to hold the pose for too long. Well done for having a go or listening to your body with the variation that you're in. Bringing the hands onto the mat underneath the shoulders. Tuck under the right toes, lift the knee. Push the hands into the mat. Bring the left knee into the belly. Pull the shoulders back. Push the tailbone high. Stretch the left leg back and up, down dog splits. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Bring the knees down. Knees hip width and wider. Toes are touching. Pull the tailbone to the heels and pausing in child's pose. If you prefer, moving into puppy pose. your way up to sitting. If you need to, then grab your block or a bolster, a blanket or a cushion, tuck that underneath the tailbone, find your comfortable seat. Moving back into our Shakti mudra, little fingers touch at the tip, ring fingers touch at the fingertips. Bring the thumbs into the palms, wrap the middle and the index fingers around. Let the arms relax, let the hands sit in front of the belly, the hips, fingertips of the ring fingers and little fingers pointing down. Closing the eyes as you seal in your practice. And know that you can pause when you need to. If things feel that they're going about 100 miles an hour or not going in the right direction that you want to go in, find that point where you can pause, take a breath, and you are always grounded and able to go with the flow. And you're welcome to stay here in your Shakti mudra for as long as you wish. Thank you for joining me for a yoga practice to help you survive or get through Mercury retrograde. And I'll put some more information in the details and in the comments below. And I shall see you next week as we move into our Leo practice. Namaste.